Maples, their biggest rival so far in the SMA. Doran ran inside, Doran ran outside, and he found the end zone on many, many occasions. 4 times, in fact. Great bursts up the middle like this, with little cuts leaving defenders in his wake. Doran threw for 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown the first week, wanted to try his luck again in week number 2. He found nobody open, so he decided to make the Birmingham Seahole Maples victim of his great option running. Doran came close a few times, but after Doran comes close, he makes the touchdowns look that much easier. 2-point conversion, well, first of all, another Doran touchdown. And then following that touchdown, behind a great block by Mark Vaughn, Doran scores the 2-point conversion. And this was the run of the game, 39 yards. He created things, he left players in his wake. He made holes for himself and just absolutely frustrated the Birmingham Seahole Maples. And after just 2 weeks of the season, 41 carries, 331 yards, and 7 touchdowns. But Doran cannot do it all by himself. He and his teammates will face a hungry band of Hazel Park Vikings with upset on their mind. Tonight, CTV 11 Sports continues its coverage of High School Football 85 from Hazel Park High School, with the Southfield Blue Jays meeting the Hazel Park Vikings in yet another SMA clash. And saludos again, my friends. Did he look marvelous or what? We had to think of something clever to do because they took away my poetic license after last week's opening. But I guess the cry around Hazel Park High School is stop Doran. And the question I have for those people making those remarks is how are you going to do it? Because we will probably see a lot more of a diversified attack by the Southfield Blue Jays, and Jay Jewett maybe throwing a bit more to his receivers, maybe using Ray Hobson and Mark Vaughn a little bit. But the thing about Hobson and Vaughn, they're not going to be starting.
Mike Shoemaker, and at halfback, but he won't be starting tonight, is a junior varsity transfer, 5'10", 160, a sophomore, Mike Halley, number 30.
And we should also mention that there are some changes in the Blue Jays starting lineup, and Cal Fletcher said very simply that he's just starting some other guys tonight, and those are some very important names too, Jim.
Well, Jimmy, quite a few players aren't playing tonight, aren't starting tonight. Jim, why don't you brief us on those players? I know that one is Ray
Hobson. Ray Hobson is one of them. Rod Hurst is another. We are still having monitor problems up here, but we will try to correct those. Ray Hobson, Rod Hurst the other, and Mark Vaughn will have his spot in the backfield taken by number 22, Pat Hogue. We should also say hello to the folks. We always saying hello to visitors, and they're not really visitors because they're part of the Continental Cablevision family, and those are the folks that are watching us in Hazel Park and Madison Heights. A couple of systems that are aptly manned by Steve Griffiths and Jim Trudeau, and both of those gentlemen on our crew tonight, and we're very happy to have them along with us, and we're happy to have you with us as well. We should put out also, to kind of give you a little bit of flavor of what it's like to be on the visitor side for a change, even though they are the home team. The Southfield Blue Jays are on the opposite side of the field. We're in the press box, which is always on the home field side, and so it's going to be very, very loud, boisterous bunch of Hazel Park Viking fans on what has turned out to be a rather shall we say, close night for football, both in the press box and on the field.
Well, Jim, both you and I know that Southfield has an excellent football team. They're undefeated at 2-0. They've scored 59 points this season so far in 2 games and just allowed a couple of touchdowns and 8 quarters. Hazel Park has done 2 things that I think are rather unique tonight. First off, they put the lawnmower away. The grass out there is about ankle deep.
So that means basically that the fumbles won't go through the into the outfield.
Well, I think that for any kind of a ball carrier, a long grass has got a psychological disadvantage to the ball player. Even though really, you're thinking about bringing your feet up when you're running the football when that grass is ankle deep. Another thing they did is this is really the first week that a team has geared its defense to stop Torrin Dorn. I don't think Farmington or Birmingham Seaholm really realized just how solid and how quick an offensive football player TD Torrin Dorn is for Southfield. So they've got a couple of defensive ball players that are going to really, everywhere that TD goes, except maybe halftime, they'll be following him. That's it. You got that.
He needs a lamb to kind of follow him and eat the grass.
So let's see if we can pick out. That'll be one of my assignments tonight early in that first quarter to see who's going to be following Torrin Dorn back to the bench.
The 12th man. Right now, though, the Blue Jays have won the toss, and they have elected to receive. And Tino Oliveira, a couple of names from basketball of the past. Lonnie Simmons, we remember from Southfield Hazel Park basketball, and Tino Oliveira, and Bill Hinges. You know, another difference of doing a game from Hazel Park and doing a game from Southfield, we get the correct pronunciations of all the names. And another man that we'll mention too is Mike Kinzorski. But right now, Torrin Dorn standing back in the deep spot. It'll never get there, though. Pat Hogue has the football. He goes to the outside for Southfield, and I think he kind of slipped on his own. If you want to give credit for somebody on the tackle, you might want to give it to Chuck Allen, number 61. We are kind of having intervertent yes and no, the answer to a question that not everybody's going to be able to hear. Southfield now, let's check them out. First down and 10, and they're going to be operating at their own 30, make it their own 29-yard line. And as Jim mentioned, that there are some changes. The Blue Jay offense will have Jay Jewett at quarterback. Pat Hogue is in the I formation, dotted by Torrin Dorn. They'll go with two wide receivers, Rajeen Griffin, and they're going to throw to Griffin on first down and 10. He's going one-on-one, and the pass is incomplete. One-on-one with Shoemaker, and the pass went incomplete. And so, Jimmy, on the first play from scrimmage, they surprise everybody but maybe you and I.
Well, Jim, they got to gamble on first down. Why not? It's early in the game. It's really the first play of the game. Might as well just throw the ball up. What you got to worry about is Mike Shoemaker. He's an outstanding defensive back. From what Coach Eldred told me, I wouldn't want to throw that ball in his direction. They're testing the strength of the defensive backfield right away.
And every time that Southfield plays, the opposite to a coach, the coach that is coaching against Southfield, has to admit that he does not have a player in his defensive backfield that can go one-on-one with the two Southfield wideouts. And they are DeVosa Walker wide left, and DeVosa will get the pass. Oh, off his hands and incomplete. That was Robert Ziegler wide to the left-hand side. DeVosa Walker not in there. We'll see him on defense. Rajeen Griffin on the right-hand side, and the pass goes incomplete. So Jay Jewett, who has had himself some success throwing the football early in the season, unsuccessful on the first two plays from scrimmage tonight.
Well, Jewett's always been an outstanding quarterback for Southfield since his first game, Jim. You know, last year he averaged about 168 yards a game passing. He's done real well this season so far and leading the undefeated Blue Jays into tonight's contest.
That defensive backfield on the far, well, closest to you is 25 Shoemaker. Then right in the middle is number 11, Gary Lawson, and on the far side is Dan York. And the handoff is to Torrin Dorn, and Dorn gets about 3 yards, and he is piled up by, among the many, George Wilhelm, number 56. Also Matt Canyu, rather James Paulson, number 32. I hope I don't call Andy Canyu Matt Canyu, but that is one of the 27 graduating seniors from last year, and included in that group of names Tim Reidinger.
Jimmy, the defensive strength of this ball club is their linebackers. All four of them are seniors: Wilhelm, Lackey, Paulson, and Hinges. So let's see what happens when it's offense against defense here.
Looks like Scafoni is standing back deep. The Dorn punt will come from the 31, and Dorn needs to get a good kick away. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. It's headed for the sideline, and it goes out of bounds. So they go from the 31 to about the 29-yard line. So that's 21 and 19, 40 yards on the kick. Coming into this contest, Hazel Park playing their first SMA game. They are 0-2 in their overalls, while Ferndale, the other team that has not played, and we told you the story, Ferndale and Hazel Park will meet November the 2nd at the Silverdome just before Southfield takes on Lathrop. We'll have that game. Southfield 1-0 with their big win over Seaholm, 2-0 in their overalls. First down and 10 now. They're going to mark the ball officially at the 29-yard line. Gary Lawson is the quarterback. They have one wide receiver. Looked like somebody jumped Hogue, but the handoff now will go right up the middle of James Paulson, and Jimmy gets up to about the 34 or 35-yard line, and getting up very slowly off the bottom of the stack if he does. Looks like it was 24 Sean Washington, and so it'll be a 5-yard pickup for Paulson, who comes out of the contest. Second down and 5. Got to remember they're quicker out of the huddle in Southfield, so I got to shut up a little bit faster and let Jim tell you what's going on. 2 wideouts to the right-hand side, the I formation behind Danny York. He goes back and falls down. I have a feeling somebody had a hold of his ankles down there at getting up. Looked like Torin Dorn on this. No, check it. 43, Monroe Curry. And watch Curry. I didn't even see him bring him down. 43.
Jimmy, our defensive player of the week last year, Monroe Curry, starting right off where he ended up last week. Look at that. He leaped right between that offensive guard's legs and tripped. We just lost our monitor.
Yeah, the on-again, off-again monitor is...
Anyway, he's so quick back there that he actually tripped up Lawson and stopped that play.
He lost 12 on the play, and Curry's after him again, and he brings him down, but he got rid of the football, and it goes incomplete. Monroe Curry had some help across the way from Ray Hobson, number 33, and the Blue Jays have been absolutely very quick off the line is what I was going to say.
They're just bursting through against that veteran offensive line. Watch this now. Curry just blasts through like he's been shot at Cape Canaveral. Look at this. I would think that Lawson almost handed him the ball. He thought that he was part of that offensive backfield. That's how quick Mr. Curry is tonight.
Tino will punt. Here they come. They ran into him. No flag. It looked like he got blocked into him. And the ball will roll and die at the 43-yard line. So we'll check it from about the 29 to the 43 is 7, and 21 is 28 yards on the play. Math teachers all around North America saying, how did he do that?
Well, that's 3 first downs worth down there, almost a 30-yard punt. And that kind of pressure, it was almost blocked, and it was a good punt by Hazel Park, considering what was coming through.
We talked last week about how their special teams are going to have to improve, and they have so far. First down and 10 now for the Blue Jays at their own 44-yard line, and Torin Dorn gets the football, goes to the outside, but he is still on his feet, but the play was stopped. Courtesy of Bill Hinges, number 75. Hinges knew where Dorn was going to be, and of course, stopping Torin Dorn is exactly what Hazel Park is trying to do, and they've been successful on his 2 runs so far.
Well, we were trying to figure out who was going to stop Torin Dorn, and right now I'm going to tell you, it's every linebacker that Hazel Park has in that defense is going to go after Torin Dorn as soon as he gets that football. Hinges led the charge that time, a senior, 5'11", 200 for the Vikings.
It is second down and 8. We have 8:25 to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Second down and 10. We are informed the board is broken. The pitch back is to Dorn around the right side. Gets a good block from Pat Hogue. Has to slip a tackle or 2 and is still on his feet. And Dorn gets about 7 or 8 yards. Gets down into Hazel Park territory. Down about the 43-yard line and across the way. It looked like 64 Herman Goodwin was the man who made the tackle.
Jim, again, M&P running. Meat and potatoes running by Torin Dorn. He broke a tackle 2 or 4 to get around on that side. Let me quickly give you what's happening in the SMA tonight. C. Holmes at Berkeley. We're, of course, with Southfield at Hazel Park. Kimball's at Troy, and Andover's at Ferndale.
Give him 5. They are outside now. Where are they? They're at the 49-yard line on third down and about 5 yards to go. The I formation, and they hand it off to Hogue, and Pat Hogue gets close to the first down, but he's going to be a little bit short. On top of the stack was George Wilhelm, 56. And let's see who gets up off the bottom of the pile. James Paulson, Jim Paulson, number 32. And let's watch the good penetration, the good fake to Dorn.
Jim, Southfield's still trying to figure out, if you watch the replay, Southfield's still trying to figure out Hazel Park defensively. One thing you got to see is that it's a collective defense. There's not going to be too many solo tackles, at least in this first quarter. They're double teaming and triple teaming to make tackles together. You don't see a solo tackle so far tonight.
It is fourth down, and we need it. That's what Southfield's calling. Jewett took it the last couple of times. Hogue's got the football, and good spinning move by Pat as he gets into into Hazel Park territory, deeper into Hazel Park territory, down to about the 43-yard line. Pat Hogue, 5'10", 165-pound senior. And you'll just watch some great second effort by number 22.
Boy, a simple handoff, and he blew right through the middle. Look at that, Jimmy, 5 yards. A very, very good play by the senior Pat Hogue.
And that dynamite that allowed him to blow through the hole was administered by 65, a man who probably will get a lot of college scholarship offers, and that's Eric Wills, 6 foot, 200 pounds, and a great wrestler in his spare time. Toss over the middle, and it is intercepted. First interception of the season, picked off there by number 75, I think it was. And now that is Bill Hinges. That ball was intended for 83, Pete Dixon over the middle, and we'll see exactly who picked off the ball.
You can see, Jim, it was number 75, Billy